So girl, how are you feeling so far?
I'm applying makeup.
You're playing makeup, my god.
It's so hard.
Yes.
All my makeup's coming off.
And I think we pretty much we here at around 12:30, and now
Are we live on air?
Yes, we're live. we are not on national television yet.
Live on air?
But we arrived here like 12:30, and now it's 2:45. That's how long we've been standing for.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, and today is a very hot day.
It is boiling hot. It's like 33 something.
Yeah, bad luck for you today.
Oh God, and I hate this weather.
Yes.
Of all days that I've decided to come today. So thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy, really proud that I came today.
What do you think of the whole thing? Lots of people need to cut their speech a bit shorter.
Yeah. Overall, it was really, really good. The speech is too long.
Yeah, too long, especially on the hot days, people, you have to understand that, people already here and suffering under the sun. Keep it short, get to the point.
Yeah, especially girls like me that wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah, me too,
But I think it was wonderful. I think it's great,
Especially one of the girls who come down from Queensland, her speech is like, woo, sister, I hear you.
She nailed everything.
She nailed it, her passion, her angriness and everything, I just love it. Yeah.
Passion
I think I've been attend like 3 rally already, and her speech is the best of all.
Yeah.
She's journeyed all the way down from Brisbane to speak with us today from the National Union of Students Queer Officer. Please put your hands together for Kat Henderson.
Now, I was reading a bit about the history of the gay struggle in Australia, and I guess it's fascinating to see that actually if we'd been standing here 20 or 30 years ago, we actually probably wouldn't have been fighting for gay rights. We most probably would have been attacked by the cops. We would have had the government saying we were deviants, that, we had a psychological disorder, that we needed lobotomies, that we needed electric shock therapy. These are the sorts of things that gay people have had to struggle against in the past, back in the 60s and 70s, when homophobia was rife, when there's no such thing as coming out. But there's one thing I think that the 60s and the 70s and the struggle of gay rights in Australia shows, which is that we can fight back and we can win. Activists back then were in the minority. It was a small section of the community that supported gay rights, but they still fought back, they still mobilised, and they snapped and they said, we're out and we're proud and we're not going to take it anymore. And that is the tradition in which the marriage equality campaign continues to this day. We have won so many things and people cannot lose sight of that. It took 10, 20 years for homosexuality to be decriminalised in Australia, and in the space of 6 to 8 years, this campaign has travelled so far. We've gone from 38% support to 65%. Every demographic that is surveyed on the question of marriage equality supports it. And that's because of these demonstrations, that's because of the tenacity and the commitment of gay activists, of straight supporters to come out on the streets, to put a message out that we're a community that exists. Gay people exist. We are not going away. We do not have a disorder. We are fighting for equal rights because that is what we deserve. We have won policy changes from the ALP. 10,000 of us marched on Sydney. We took it to the Labor Party. We said, we're not going away until you change your policy. We're not going away until you legalise equal rights. And they were bloody forced to change their policy in support of marriage equality. But they bloody well copped out with this conscience vote. And don't anyone forget it. When the ban came in 2004, there was no ALP conscience vote. That was a binding position. Just like when the ALP decides on any other questions of health, education, wars even, it's not a conscience vote, it's a binding vote. And equal rights should not be up to the conscience of individual bigots in the Labor Party to deny millions of people. That is an important thing to remember. There is nothing wrong with us, there is something wrong with them. 100 of them. They are the problem. They are the ones hurting children and families. They are the ones enforcing state-based discrimination that leads to disproportionate rates of mental illness, of suicide. This campaign in many ways is a fight for life or death, and that's why we have to keep fighting. We have to recognise this campaign goes beyond just the demand of marriage equality. It goes towards changing the whole Australian political atmosphere, changing society as a whole, for the future generations of gay people that should be able to grow up in a society that doesn't discriminate them, that doesn't abuse them, that doesn't put them in situations where they feel like they can't come out and be proud. That's one of the, I guess, one of the strengths of this campaign, and that's what we have to continue to do today. We must push them back. We must isolate them. We must win, and it is a battle that we are in the process of winning. Julia Gillard and Tony Abbott, you are losing. We are winning. We are not going away. And the struggle for marriage equality. Yes, you can cheer whatever you like. I'm going to keep talking anyway. The struggle for marriage equality has given the confidence for people, particularly in Queensland, which I'm going to touch on now, to fight back. When we had Campbell Newman come in, a right-wing premier, a homophobe, a bigot who attacked Aboriginal people, women's rights groups, workers, the unions, and then targeted the gay community, we were the first ones to stand up and say, we're not going to take it. We organised 2,000 people, the largest gay rights rally in Queensland ever. We organised that. We made history because this campaign has told people when the LGBTI community is under attack, we're not going to take it. We're going to fight back, and we're going to be your bloody permanent headache until you listen to us, until you respond, until you grant equal rights. One last point. Everyone here today represents 15,000 people across the country that support our cause. Our task going forward with the advent of right-wing governments and maybe even the election of Tony Abbott is to get those 15,000 people that each of you represents, or even a fraction of them, and bring them out here. Let them join in our fight. Join in one of the most progressive campaigns in Australia today, the Campaign for Equality, the largest gay rights campaign in history. Make them join us. Get them to join us in making history because it's important. And the fight by gay people and straight supporters in the 60s and 70s shows we can win in the harshest of circumstances. We can win, and this is a battle that we will win.
I hear you, sister. Love, peace, and joy.
And express yourself.
See you next time.
Ta-da.
Bye.